Most aspiring pros have a hidden problem that will probably be the underlying reason they fail to go pro. But this is gonna take some explaining to do. So imagine this scenario for me. Let's call this guy Bob. Bob is an aspiring pro just like you who dreams of playing Fortnite for a living one day. He watches all my videos implementing all the tips and tricks I give him, ultimately leading him to the point where he treats Fortnite competitive like a full-time job. He's super disciplined, he trusts the process, and he takes it fully seriously every day, solely playing to get the practice in he needs. Surely he has a way higher chance of going pro with this mindset, right? While yes and no, it's complicated. While Bob is hard at work grinding due to his good mindset, he is surpassing his similar skill peers at a rapid speed. But wait, what's this? Bob had a bad session of 1v1s where he was utterly destroyed and just left completely disappointed in himself. Thinking to himself, how did I ever let that happen? I suck. How am I ever gonna go pro? Hopefully that's just a one-off thing, right? Oh, never mind. Bob continues to do the same thing over and over again, having good streaks of being happy with himself and then all of a sudden being really down on himself and disappointed because of a bad performance in a recent tournament or session of practice. This may not sound like a big deal to you, but that's because you're missing something here, bro. Every single time Bob had these upsets, it set him back really far in multiple ways. If Bob gets upset at a bad session of 1v1s he had earlier in the day, it'll ruin the rest of his practice for the rest of the day now that he's in a bad mindset. He just cannot focus on the new practice he's doing because he's just constantly zoning out about the recent poor performance he had and what that means for the future of his career. Or if he did bad in a tournament, for example, he'll be mentally occupied with thinking about that failure for like weeks or months on end after that, distracting him from his practice. The problem here is that Bob takes Fortnite competitive too seriously. Now yes, I know to you this might sound like the stupidest thing I've ever said and that it contradicts everything I've ever said, but hear me out first, bro. To achieve insane success in something like going pro in Fortnite, for example, there must be a decent balance between taking the game completely seriously like a job and also enjoying it. If there was a scale where being a 10 meant to take the game 100% seriously without a care about enjoyment at all, and then being a 0 on that scale meant you didn't care for success at all and you just played when you want and did whatever you wanted. The most optimal place to be on that scale, in my opinion, will be about a 7 to 8, which in a practical sense would be like, yes, your goal in Fortnite is to see success and succeed. You also know that to become a top 0.01% player, you will need to go through heaps of hardships and sacrifices to make it. But the thing is, you know that if you low-key didn't just enjoy Fortnite competitive, competing, and the process of going pro in general, you just wouldn't do it. Your goal in a practical sense is to be in a place where, yeah, if you had a bad session of practice or tournaments, you would be slightly annoyed and think about it a bit, but then soon get over it and move on to the next thing with full focus. Because most of your motivation to grind this game comes from somewhere deep down where you just low-key enjoy competitive Fortnite and the journey of improvement, etc. Not just solely the success like Bob does. 99% of his motivation is to see success and make thousands of earnings. So when he plays a session of tournaments or practice that shows signs to him that he might not actually go pro, he loses all motivation and that pain takes over his mind for weeks. Now yeah, this concept seems very vague and confusing, because it is dealing with emotions and how you genuinely feel about Fortnite competitive over a long period of time, which is super hard to define and measure, which hey, annoys me too, bro. But I think if you do find yourself to be like Bob in this scenario, just start from understanding how taking the game too seriously can backfire on you. And with time thinking about this, you will slowly change your mindset back to what it should be as you made small changes day to day for a long period of time. You made it through this whole video, so there's something I'm sure you'd be interested in, bro. My free email newsletter where I post heaps of unique advice and tips and tricks you don't see in my YouTube videos, so join for free using the link in the description of this video.